A fierce, unknown entity grips a small town in Dovey, Louisiana. This mysterious force rips people apart limb to limb, spawning horrific creatures in its destructive path. Countless lives are lost in its wake. A child, no taller than 5'1", is to blame in the aftermath. Though she may look the part, Evelyn is no child, but a weapon created by a corporation lost in the shadows. Who created Evelyn, and what was the atrocious plan behind her creation? Black market corporations and old faces return in this gaming mystery. The BOW market was at a big decline due to its past failures. The market begged for something new, something more than simple killing machines and viruses. In comes the mysterious BOW experimental organization known as the Connections. The Connections were hiding in the shadows during the entirety of every major outbreak, whether it be the Raccoon City outbreak, the Plagas outbreak, and the global bioterrorist attacks. The Connections were in hiding during all these horrifying events for a good reason, as they knew they had something special on their hands, but it wasn't quite ready to be sold in the market. At the start of these new experimental BOW prototypes, the Connections were in touch with none other than Albert Wesker and his own bioweapon company. Albert must have seen potential in the Connections. This culminated when their research spawned a dangerous fungus, but in its first stage wasn't practical or what they'd hoped for. The Connections weren't hoping for a bigger, scarier monster to sell, but something more manipulative, something capable of mind control. They began implementing letters in naming their prototypes, with the A-type being first. The A-type prototype didn't assume an actual form and showed little to no effect in mind control. This goes for the B and C types as well. It wasn't until the D-type series where the Connection hit a breakthrough, but the process is gut-wrenchingly sick. The Connections acquired the embryos of human females and through experimental tests were able to alter their genomes. They brought in at least 8 female embryos, infected them with the fungus they'd been working on, and aged them rapidly to assume the form of 10-year-olds. Of these 8 embryos, only 4 are known to have survived past the embryo stage, and were named Dolores, Diana, Dahlia, and Daniela. The effects of the fungus, along with the inhumanity of rapid aging, was a tremendous mental and physical struggle for these innocent kids. Eventually, Dolores had a fit of rage and killed Diana and Daniela, and ultimately killed herself. Dolores' remains are found in the game with that unforgettable agony in her face, and now we know why. Only one D-type series remained, Dahlia. Dahlia would go on to assume the form of a 10-year-old, but only survived for a couple of months before her body gave in to the effects of the fungus. Her body is later found within the Baker home. The D-type series proved successful until it could no longer. It wasn't until the Connections began its work on the E-type series where they'd find the perfect specimen. Evelyn was born in 2014 through the same process as her predecessors, infecting a female embryo and altering its aging process. The first of the E-type series, her codename was E-001. Evelyn was successfully capable of mind control, as the fungus in her DNA emulated the effects of mind control. By fully engulfing a person in the mold spawned by Evelyn, she could make them do whatever she pleased. The Connections had finally finished their mind control BOW, but the success was short-lived as Blue Umbrella, a militia born out of the now-defunct pharmaceutical monster, caught wind of the development of Evelyn and her mind control capabilities. Their ultimate goal was to find and destroy her, but the Connections were a step ahead. Transporting her on a ship headed towards Central America, Evelyn was a priority to keep safe until, as history repeats itself, was a threat beyond control. Evelyn soon overtook the entire ship and its crew, spawning mold creatures as well. What was the cause of Evelyn's outburst? No matter how much the Connections had stripped away from Evelyn, a family, and an actual childhood, Evelyn still yearned for a normal life, a family. Enter the Baker family, where she successfully entered their home and, through her mind control powers, had them do her bidding. Evelyn was even able to recover the bodies of her 2 informal sisters, Dahlia and Dolores, and brought them to the Baker home. The Connections suffered a karmic retaliation by their own creation, but somehow, their mastermind plan had worked one way or the other. The Connections' plan was to create 10-year-olds capable of mind control and sell them on the BOW market, which partly they succeeded. But it is their ultimate plan that continues to go unsolved. The Connections wanted to release a bunch of E-type series around the world to pose as child refugees, who were then to be taken in by families and orphanages, and then completely take over through mind control. Entire cities would have gone completely insane. The question is, why? The connections easily could have been in the business for the money, but this reveals that they wanted to see the world burn more than anything. Without a familiar face or culprit to truly blame, this plan remains a mystery. It truly is a masterful plan because they turned something seemingly innocent as a child into a weapon of total chaos. Not a monster, not an outbreak or a huge missile. A child. Who is behind this mysterious group and what do they want? Comment below your thoughts and suggestions for other gaming mysteries. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more survival horror content. Until next time, stay single.